All right, well, it's 1 o'clock. How we doing, Kevin? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Garrett.
How are things this week?
They're going pretty well. How about you?
Can't complain. Understand we got an exciting session ahead on estimating.
Yeah, so it's a little bit different than what we typically do on these power sessions. Usually we go through the existing tools and features, how they exist today, give you some tips, give you some explanation of how to use things when. What we're actually going to go over today is some updates to the estimating module that we plan to release in the next month or two. So we worked with some of our clients that gave us some really good feedback on the existing estimating module, how it is today. And we took that feedback and are looking at ways that we can make it more useful for all contractors out there.
Sounds good. Let's jump into it.
Yeah. So the first thing you'll see is when you go to the estimating module, or what you will see, I should say not yet, but when we release it, what you'll see is up at the top, there are some KPIs that basically tell you how you've actually tracked against the different estimates and projects that you've bidded on so far. So for those of you that are familiar with either the WIP or the cost forecast tool, what we've done is we've tried to recreate the estimating module in that same style where we're not only listing the projects that you're bidding, but then also giving you some good analysis and analytics about how well you're performing with your estimates. So here you can see things like, hey, what's the average budget of the estimate? What's the average final bid? What's our win rate? Win rate on all bids? How many jobs have we built? What's the total awarded amount? So you can tell this is our test account because all these numbers don't necessarily make sense. They're just kind of placeholders, but a really good sense of not only what's the total amount of work you're bidding, but what's your success rate and how's that translating into actually won work.
I like it. I like we got the workspace there too, so we have the familiarity from the cost forecast and WIP. So I think people find value in that.
Yeah, definitely. And then right beneath those KPIs are some charts where you can kind of look at data monthly, quarterly, annually. So this is always a really big thing when you're doing any kind of forecasting or projections, especially on the revenue and sales front, is really understanding, okay, we know what the raw number is for Q1, but really what's going to tell us a lot more is how does that Q1 compare to Q4 of last year or all the way back to Q1 of the prior year. So being able to do that comparison month over month, quarter over quarter, looking at different metrics, what's the total bid value, the total number of bids that you've submitted in a month or a quarter, it's really going to help you get some insight in terms of, hey, are we kind of slowing down right now in terms of our bids, which tells us we're going to be slower 6 months from now, or vice versa, are we ramping up and we need to go make sure that we've got lines of credit and that we're in a strong cash position so we can kind of handle that ramp up period when we are taking on more work.
Sure.
And then down below that is the table where you're actually going to track all of the projects that you are pursuing and you're bidding on. So you can add a new project up at the top here. So you can just put in the name, the building type, address. And then down below here will be where you can actually track those projects that you've added. So you can edit the columns here, but the main ones are the project, what's the rating, how confident are you that you're going to win this work? What's the bid round? So is this the first time you've submitted bids on this project, or are you on the fourth, fifth, sixth iteration of it? What's the status, the bid date, building type, and then the bid amount. So if I want to click into one of these projects here, what you will see is all the data for the given bid round. So let's look at bid round 1 here. You'll see I've got multiple bids here. So if it's the same project that I'm building to the multiple GCs, or there are different contractors that I need to submit the bid to, I can go in here and track the bid. And then I can also mark which one is the preferred bid. So if I say, hey, this is the bid that, or this is the GC that I think is most likely to win the work, and this is the number that I want to track, this will basically be the number that gets used from this bid round when you look at your overview sheet and summary. So here you can kind of go through, see what the amount is, the bid date, the status, the bid type. And then if I want to go in and get more specific on any of these, I can click in here and now I can see all the information for the bid. So up at the top, I've got my summary, everything from who's the estimator submitting the bids? When do I need to follow up? What do I think the project schedule is? This rating here, so I can say, hey, I think there's a high probability we're going to win this. I think there's a medium probability, low probability, very low probability, extremely low, or just basically tracking it to track it. So this is a really good way to basically assess not only what is the total number of bids that you're submitting, but also like what do you think the likelihood is you're going to win it.
From your experience in the industry, how would you maybe
Yeah.
differentiate between, let's say, medium and high? Do you think it vary client by client?
Yeah, it's going to vary client by client, and I hate to say it, but it's the best one is obviously just kind of relying on your I don't want to say gut, but your relationship with who you're submitting the bid to. Talking to them, understanding, hey, are you the low bid on this project? Have you done a lot of previous work with them? Are they being responsive or not? You can usually get a good sense by just what the communication looks like with the client that you're submitting the bid with, for whether you think that's high probability, low probability, medium probability. I will tell you, from the data that we've analyzed from a lot of our clients, usually people are a little optimistic when they look at the probability that they think they're going to win projects. So maybe just a good rule, unless you're super confident on something, always just kind of go one level lower than you're thinking, because that's probably going to be more accurate in the long run.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then underneath the summary, you've got the proposal section. So here you can enter in like the bid amount, what the bid type is. Is it budgetary, where they're just kind of looking for a round number? Is it the full pricing? You can do it based on square feet, total project area, what the markup on the project is, and then down below that, you can go in and enter any required trades. So this is really good if you're like, hey, this is a $2 million project for us, but $500,000 of that's going to be for the mechanical contractor, $300,000 is going to be for the electrical subcontractor, and so on and so on. It can really be a good way to kind of track not only what your number is, but also the numbers that you're getting from any subs that need to get rolled up into this bid. I kind of skipped over it real quick, but in addition to the bids at the top here, you can see the team here. So here's where you can go in and add any other subcontractors that you're working with. And then you can also see any communication that you have on the project as well. And then finally, what you can do is once you have a resolution on the bid, you can either mark it as awarded, or you can archive it if it is a bid that you did not win. So a lot of good functionality here in terms of getting better tracking, in terms of what projects you're estimating, what bids you're submitting, what's the likelihood you're going to win, what's the numbers that you're carrying on each of those bids. And that is pretty much it.
I like it. A lot of good information here.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, this isn't anything that's live today. It's something that we plan to release in the next month or two. So keep an eye out for it. It's something we're pretty excited about to really bring more functionality to the estimating module.
Sounds good. Are we just going to turn that on universally, or do we have to go in tenant by tenant?
Yeah, so if you have access to the estimating module today, when it goes live, you'll see it update automatically. If it's not something you have access to today and you would like access, then yeah, reach out to support@pronovos.com and we'll work on getting it turned on for you.
Perfect. Well, anything we have skipped over, or any other fine details people may want to know?
No, I think we hit it all. So I mean, we can save a minute here, Garrett, for any questions. If not, we can wrap it up early.
Sounds good to me.
All right. It doesn't look like we have any questions in, so I think we can probably call it, Garrett.
Yep. And if anyone needs the video, just let us know. We can send the link.
Very cool.
Thanks for your time today, Kevin. Talk to you again
right.
soon. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. I believe we're going back into cost forecasting.
Very cool. Thanks, Garrett.
Have a good day, all. Bye.